Hi everyone, Nova here again from Brighter Outlook Counselling Service with this week's live stream narcissistic abuse recovery question, answer and support session. Thank you for joining us here. It's wonderful to have you back again. For those of you who are new, welcome. I hope you get lots and lots of support tonight, and I really hope that that we get round to us answering your questions. Tonight is all about you guys. I know that many of you, can't get to therapy sessions, and I guess speaking of therapy, that's what I do. I'm a professional counsellor on the north side of Brisbane, and my area of expertise and my passion is in helping victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. So if you would like to have a private session with me, please just inbox me here at Brighter Outlook, and I would love to be able to support you. Excuse me. Oh goodness. So yeah, just getting, I guess, we've got Megan Hadgel there already. Hi Megan. And we've got Tracy Burns there. Hi Tracy. And I think I can see Raymond there. Hi Raymond, how you going? Yeah, many of you can't afford to come to private sessions, which is totally understandable, I guess, considering what narcissistic abuse, one of the repercussions is financial abuse. So that's why we do these live streams, is to, provide a forum where you guys can get support and you can reach out to other survivors, and hopefully myself and David, when he's here, will be able to answer your questions and I guess and give you some strategies around how to move forward, to heal, to go minimal contact, no contact if that's the if that's where you're at with your narcissist. We've got Rebecca Millard here. Hi Nova. She's got a question for me. We'll definitely get around to answering the questions soon, Rebecca. Good to see you here. We've got Aletha here. Aletha from Redcliffe. Hi Aletha. Okay, so guys, as you join, like everyone else has who's already here, please say hi and say whereabouts you're from in the world. As you know, I love to know whereabouts you're tuning in from. So yeah, just say hi and whereabouts you are, whether that's the United States, UK, New Zealand, anywhere in Australia if you're a fellow Aussie. Yeah, and I'd love to know whereabouts that is. And yeah, and say hi so we can say hi back. The other thing I'm going to ask, as we always do, is for you guys to like and share, to help us spread awareness around narcissistic abuse and to get the message out there that you guys need support. We need more awareness, and we need. Don't you just hate that when the phone rings and you're in the middle of a live stream? Anyway, I should have been more prepared for that. But anyway, yeah, so we need to get the word out there, guys. We need more awareness about narcissistic abuse, so you can help us to do that. So please like and share. And the more shares we get, the more people will tune in, get help, get support, and hopefully get away from their abuser. So that's one of the things we asked from you tonight. And already I can see David here, so I'm going to let David in. We've got Minsiddle, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hi from Brisbane. We've got Lizzie Salter here. Hi Lizzie. And Suzanne Jane. We've got Andrea Duffy here. Lots and lots of people. So I'm just going to let David in. And hopefully this all goes to plan. Coming in, David. Where you at, David? There you are. How you going, David?
Hello. Hi, good. How are you?
I'm very well. Awesome to have you back again.
Thank you for having me again.
My pleasure. Okay, everyone, for those of you who are new, for those of you who've been here for a while, you'll know David. David co-hosts the show every second week, and we love having David here. I especially love having David here to help with the show and to help answer your questions. David's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to narcissistic abuse, and he'll be so much support for you guys tonight. David's tuning in live from Las Vegas. So what is it, 7 p.m. here. David, it's what, 2 a.m. in the morning over there?
Well, the time changed a little while ago, so I'm lucky. It's only 1 in the morning.
Oh, okay. So you get an extra hour. Okay. All right, so at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So still a big ask for David to get up. So yeah, we really do appreciate that. Thank you. And we've got lots of people here already. I've said hello to a few. I'm just going to see who else is here. Got Suzanne James here from Mornington Peninsula, Melbourne. Hi, Suzanne. Lizzie Salter says, hi, David. And I think I've said hello to everyone else I can see there. But guys, yeah, just say hi and whereabouts you're from. And yeah, just so David and I guess, can say hi back. And please comment your questions below. And we promise we will get round to answering as many as we possibly can. It's impossible to answer everyone's. We've come to the conclusion already that we just can't do that. So we will answer as many as we can. But if we don't get round to answering yours, I just want to apologise in advance. And it's just a great excuse to come back next week. Okay, David, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, something that I get asked a lot, and people that come out of abusive relationships with narcissists, they tend to feel this way sometimes. And they ask me, did I make them the narcissist? Did I make the narcissist a narcissist? Common question I get. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And am I the narcissist? You know, that's normally the next one.
That's the next one.
Yeah. So why do you think that what do you think people like victims and survivors, you know, when they come out of these relationships, why do you think that this even crosses their mind that they might have had something to do with their abusive ex's behavior?
Sure. Well, there's a little bit more psychology than this, but basically you're with somebody who's abusive, the relationship is bad, it's toxic, and I think that's pretty identifiable to most people that the relationship is not a good one that they're in. But you're with somebody that can't self-examine, someone doesn't have much or at all any awareness of themselves and the problems that they cause, and so you have a bad relationship, it's not their fault, and what do? They always point the finger and accuse you. And it's common for most human beings, except them, when things are bad, we tend to think it's our fault anyways, you know?
Yeah.
So you're in a bad relationship long enough, and you already think it's your fault. They're telling you it's your fault, and that, you know, that kind of lays out the path to thinking that you did all of it, including even making them a narcissist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope that we can, you know. Well, I'm hoping that we can give some examples, and then we can help relieve some people that you don't make people narcissists.
Yeah. I guess a classic example I would hear, and guys, we'd love to hear your examples of what, you know, the narcissist has told you that, you know, apparently you're responsible for, you know, with regard to their behavior. Some examples would be awesome. But, you know, a classic example I hear, David, is, you know what, I wouldn't have to go and cheat if, you know, if you had have given me, you know, if you had done your duty as a wife or a husband, and, you know, you didn't get fat, and I don't know, if you didn't stop giving me, you know, sex and all those kinds of things, like, it's your fault. You know, you didn't do the right thing. So you forced me to go and do these kinds of things. You forced me into the arms of another person. It's all your fault. And I guess someone who's already got an incredibly low self-esteem just from that continual gaslighting, you know, and I've heard this from victims. They start to say, well, you know, it's actually true. You know, I haven't felt like it. I just don't feel like, I don't want him or her to touch me anymore. Like, no wonder, you know, they're being abused. So of course they're not going to feel like being intimate with their partner. But they kind of, you know, fall into that pattern of taking on that blame and saying, well, yeah, they're actually right. So maybe I did cause that. Maybe, you know, I am responsible for that, and I should just try harder.
Yeah, right. And they weren't like that in the beginning either. So remember, the beginning was nice. It was great. They were considerate. They were affectionate. Maybe they, you know, they wouldn't cheat on you, and they're always telling you where they're at, and being responsible. Yeah. And so as that relationship gets worse, they're getting worse, and they're what? They're getting more angry. They're being more critical at you, telling you you're no good at this. I don't like this about you. And
Yeah.
so, you see this person change. Not only is the relationship changing, not only are you changing, but they're changing as
Yeah.
well. So you may think I did that to them. I made them so angry at me. I made them hate me so much. I made them just not happy, and they were happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I guess, if you think of it logically, it's kind of, it would be a natural conclusion for, us as normal, non-disordered people to, to take on, because at the beginning they were amazing. They couldn't keep their hands off you. Not normally, the sex is on overdrive, and they just want to be with you all the time. They want to be intimate all the time. So when that starts to change and they don't want to touch you anymore, well, you take it on board that, well, they were like that in the beginning, so why aren't they like that now? There must be something wrong with me. So if I just try harder, maybe I can get back to that place. And also, yeah, blaming themselves for that, behavior, that decline in, the intimacy.
Or think about every single time they leave you, end the relationship, silent treatment, whatever, and go off. And they end their relationship because why? Because you're not good enough, like all those reasons you said, and then they come back. If they come back for you, they'll give you another chance. Oh, and then you failed again because they left again. And that's damaging. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, this mentality that the victims take on. It's all manufactured, by the narcissist. The narcissist wants the victims to think that it's their fault, that the narcissist's behavior is a direct result of their failure to do something, and what does this do? It gets the victims to try harder, because they all want to get back, to that golden era, that where they were being love bombed and they could do no wrong. So once that's gone, and we all know that wasn't real. We all know by now that stage was never real. It was just an illusion. It was designed to hook you guys in, but it's always there that if I'm not being treated as well now, then I must be doing something wrong, and I have to try harder. And this is what it's all about, isn't it? Getting them to try and reach that unattainable goal of the golden era again, which will never be.
Yeah, right. And it's a lot of this is responsibility. We have responsibilities in a relationship. They take none, and we're taking too much. We're taking responsibility for how they feel and their actions. And that's really common for people that have been victims of this. We concentrate and take responsibility for other people's feelings and actions too much.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and they aren't taking any.
yeah, that's right. So yeah, I
Yeah,
hope you guys are really um, taking this on board, that any time, it's just gaslighting and projection. Anytime
yep,
they tell you that something's your fault and you took it on board, that's just a direct, that's what they wanted you to think, okay, so that you would just try harder. Yeah, it's just, it keeps the victims hooked, doesn't it? It keeps them hooked in the relationship. The narcissist does it all intentionally. It's exactly what they want from their victims.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. It sure is.
Okay, well, we might start answering some questions, David. We've got heaps of people here tonight, which is awesome to see. Okay, Megan's here from Melbourne. Andrea's from Seattle, Washington. I'm really bad with my geography, so I'm assuming that's not in like the next suburb to you, David.
That's in the northwestern part of the country.
And
I'm in
where
the
are you?
south.
You're in the south.
South. Yeah.
That's how bad I am. Okay, cool.
West, south, southwest.
Okay. Rebecca Millard. Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca says, so my ex and I are still in contact because we have two young kids, 4 and 7. he has been quite amiable in the last few weeks, and we ended up going shopping yesterday for Christmas presents for our kids. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. We ended up going shopping yesterday for Christmas presents for our kids. But afterwards, he asked me if we could have sex. He says he's having trouble masturbating and wants to see if sex would be different. I was absolutely horrified and obviously said no, but almost instantly his attitude towards me changed. Ooh. Do you want to take that one on, David?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of shows what sex means to him in the first place. About on the same level as masturbation, right? Especially with somebody you once loved or was with, or
Yeah.
yeah, and he didn't get his way. I mean, they can't take rejection very well. You know, when you don't have confidence, and you know, this is narcissism is a self-esteem problem. So that's why they rage and freak out on you. It's not just they don't get what they want, rejection. They can't handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
lack
all
of
about the leader.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, entitlement.
Yeah. Yeah, look, sex to a narcissist, it's just about power, isn't it? It's simply a means to an end. It's not about intimacy, is it, David? It's simply about power, control, and
Yeah,
narcissistic supply. And you know, as David said, Rebecca, you knocking him back, you know, not giving him what he wants, he would have suffered, you know, a massive narcissistic injury. You wounded his ego, and yeah, he needed to seek out to punish you, and that was, I guess, you know, maybe he gave you the silent treatment, maybe he raged at you. That is all part of that punishment because you wounded his ego. Yeah.
yeah, right. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know, that you just threw up a little bit of boundaries for one of the most important things, your body, and he didn't like that. No, I'm entitled to your body when I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The interesting thing, though, there, Rebecca, is that you noted that he was your ex. And, you know, I'm assuming, you know, that the reason you're here is because, you know, he's a narcissist. So I guess maybe you need to seriously consider why you're going Christmas shopping with him. You know, in a perfect world, I think it's amazing, you know, that two parents who no longer are together can do that. But, you know, there's a reason we stress no contact, but, you know, with the narcissist. And this is, you know, a prime example because, you know, depending where you're at with your healing, having this sort of, you know, episode is really, really going to set you back, and seeing him, you know, in that capacity is, you know, you're just giving him room to hoover you and, you know, get you sucked back into that relationship. So, yeah, maybe you want to rethink how much time you're spending with him and, yeah, think about the no contact.
Yeah, you've been emotionally invested in this relationship. You know, I would, it's just going to hurt. Things like that are going to hurt, probably. Yeah. More than you may know.
Yeah. And, you know, the fact that you've, like David said, you've thrown up a boundary and he's just, you know, I guess punished you for daring to have a boundary, you know, it is an example that it's just a prime example of what he thinks of you. You know, he has no respect for you, and narcissists never do. So, yeah, I would seriously consider the no contact, Rebecca, because that's just disgusting, and you don't need to be, you know, hearing those sort of things from your abuser. Yeah.
And if these children are both of yours, you might be sending them a wrong signal
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes.
that's a
Yeah.
really good point. Yeah, kids, you know, they're seeing mummy and daddy together, and you know they're probably picking up on those vibes, Rebecca. You know, daddy's angry at mummy again. You know, the kids know when, you know, when the parents are angry at each other, and you kind of
Kids want
setting.
their parents back together. Kids want the parents back together. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they kind of take it on board that, you know, if they're not, that somehow it's their fault. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, we've got Tabitha Time there. Hi, Tabitha. Megan Hadrill says, I've been doing a lot of reflection lately, and the thought crossed my mind, what if it's me that's the narcissist? What if I was wrong? What if I could have been better? Um, my ex told me it was my fault he cheated because I couldn't be the person he wanted, and inverted commas broke his balls because I wanted to be a healthy family. Yeah, just it's just a rehash of what we just spoke about, isn't it, David? You know,
Yes, it
coming out,
is.
you're the narcissist. You know, he cheated. You know, if he cheats, it's a choice. Megan, he cheated because he wanted to cheat, okay? And narcissists need narcissistic supply from more than one person, lots of people at a different time. You can never be enough for them. So that's just what his excuse for being able to engage in disgusting behavior.
That's right. And here again, you're not responsible for him cheating on you. What you're responsible for is to not let him do it anymore, to not let him hurt you anymore. Not that he did it. He did that to you. Yeah.
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 It's just a way of you know, avoiding any responsibility or accountability. They throw it onto you so that they can go and do whatever they want. You know, and have 10 sex partners going at the one time, whatever they want, whatever they feel like at the time, and they blame you. And that they know that, you know, that you will, they've got you in a position where you're likely to take that on board, you know, and try harder to please them because of their previous gaslighting. So, yeah, it's not your
And
fault, Megan. You're not a narcissist.
and this kind of stuff just causes shame on top of shame. We feel like bad people. A lot of people, out there, you didn't want to tell your family and your friends that they're cheating on you. You didn't want to say anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot
it's
of shame.
embarrassing. You know,
Yeah.
it's really embarrassing. And, you know, a lot of, that's a really good point, David. A lot of the time, you know, victims, they don't, you know, a lot of the times they have left and gone back and left and gone back. You know, and by the time, you know, their friends and family are kind of, you know, throwing up their hands and going, well, you know, we're just going to have to leave you because you won't, you know, you won't leave that person. They get to a stage where they're actually defending their abuser and, you know, and say, well, you know, they're not that bad. You know, they've got that cognitive dissonance going on, and they're kind of minimizing all of the horrific abuse and remembering all the tiny little good things they did for them. They actually end up defending the abuser, let alone telling, you know, any of their loved ones that, oh my goodness, they cheated on me. Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's, you know, it's
Absolutely. It's shameful. It's
shame.
shameful. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that makes us feel like we're unworthy of everything. We're unworthy of having anything better. We deserve it. We're bad people. It's our fault. Yeah, it's
yeah,
our fault. And
yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, it happens over time. And we think this person's great and we're so excited about this relationship when things start going wrong that we don't know what to do about them. And if we try to say something about it or address problems and they tell you, be quiet, I want to talk about it, or you're just freaking out, you're paranoid, whatever it is, to avoid any kind of responsibility, it's not good. We're stuck with, we don't say anything. We might have to lie to ourselves. Oh, well, he's just that. We make up excuses for them. He's just this, she's just that. And
Yeah.
over time, being isolated and not having really true, grounded people around you telling you what's going on, you're assessing this relationship daily, weekly, and that reality kind of just offsets slowly, slowly, slowly. It's not reality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We as victims, we rationalize, we justify, and we minimize and we defend. We do all this because victims have to survive. they have to cope somehow. And it's really, I guess, cognitive dissonance is just a coping mechanism, isn't it? It's just a way of being able to survive in that trauma zone. Like, it's too painful to think that they might actually be doing, abusing you intentionally. So you get rid of all those awful thoughts, like they are abusing me, they are hurting me intentionally. We get rid of that, and we justify their behavior with, they've had a bad day, or, I really haven't been giving them any sex lately. So, he needed to get it from somewhere. So, it's my fault. We justify their abuse. And so it's not so bad, and we can live with it.
Yeah, right. And victims of this typically have been neglected in their childhood, not taught how to handle these things, not taught what to do, not taught boundaries. You can't do that to me. Instead, we stay and try and fix it and control things like this.
Yeah. The victims become fixers. That's exactly right. It's like, well, I couldn't make it work, when I was a child, but damn straight I'm an adult now, and I'm and plus this abuse is nothing. I'm used to abuse. I'm resilient. I'm used to toxic environments. I can handle this, no worries at all. Plus, we're an adult now, so we want to go and fix this relationship because we had no control over that relationship when we were a little child. We have more power now. Yeah.
Right. And now that we're talking about childhood, if we're staying in relationships like that, and if we have experiences like this in our adult life, we had experiences like this in childhood to some degree. We weren't, in tune with how we feel, how to control this, how to not let people, do things to us, hurt us, neglect us, because our parents most likely neglected us. We most likely were hurting and we didn't say anything and hid and buried and numbed these feelings. So we do that in these relationships. And when that happens in your childhood, there again, you believe it's your fault. If you're not happy in childhood, it's your fault.
Yeah. So we're used to taking the blame. So it's not foreign, is it? Victims
No.
take on the blame because that's their normal. That's their normal. They're used to being the fall guy. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we've got Noelle Mansour there. Hi, Noelle. She's replying to Megan. She says, my ex said the same. I deserved physical abuse and him cheating. No, and you didn't, Noelle. You did not deserve that abuse no more than Megan did. And I hope, you've really, cemented that within you. That simply was his reasoning to go out and do exactly what he wanted. It's all your fault, and to get you to try harder. If you think you're inferior, if you think you're always at fault, you're going to be trying to repair things, which puts them up here, you down here, always clamoring, always striving for the unobtainable, because they keep shifting the goalposts. So it was never you, Noelle. Okay, Lizzie's there, says love, light and compassion to all. Same to you, Lizzie. Alicia Wright here. Hey, Alicia. Alicia replying to Rebecca says, and that's all part of the manipulation. Kudos to you for resisting. You should be proud. Absolutely, Rebecca. Great words of advice from Alicia. Alicia says, the penny dropped for me a while ago when I realised he went seeking a new supply because I stopped giving into his manipulative behaviour and set what should have been healthy boundaries. Yeah, so, David, Alicia.
I mean, it wants me to bring up triangulation. And I mean, what a better way to just knock you down and kill your self-esteem and make you doubt yourself all the time, and really just say, because the best way to kill your self-esteem anyways is compare yourself to other people. If you don't realize we're all equal, narcissists do this. They compare themselves. I'm better than this person. Oh, I'm better looking than that person. I'm smarter than that person. Well, you're always going to meet your match every day, and you're going to meet someone better looking than you and better. So you have low self-esteem. If you have somebody doing that to you, somebody you love, somebody you're investing, a relationship you're invested in, and these things, They're telling you there's somebody better than you. I like the way that they don't do it this way. They don't get mad at me. They don't make me do this like you do. They're not always upset and saying that there's problems and I got to fix this and do that. They're happy. We're happy. You know, they're happy go lucky. Something wrong
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
That's just horrible. I mean, what better way to really make someone feel bad?
Yeah. Absolutely. I guess that's what triangulation is all about, isn't it? It's about pitting people
Yeah.
against each other, setting the narcissist setting themselves up as the go-between. The person who can sit there at the top of the triangle, watch all the drama unfold, and not get their hands dirty. These two people mightn't even know each other, and yet they are competing against each other, not even knowing each other. And this is all a big setup. And just, yeah, absolutely cruel by the narcissist to do that to you.
And here's one more. This is actually pretty psychopathic here. This is common among psychopaths, and narcissists will do this too, but it's common to have in the household, you have the head of the household or just the abuser in the family, and
Yep.
they might typically be really good with their family, really provide and pretty good at home, and really rotten out in society, maybe a criminal, maybe whatever at the workplace, or vice versa. And this is what everybody's mostly seen, hasn't it? They treat you horribly and turn right around and treat the other people really nice. They're really sweet, they're outstanding, everybody likes them. They might be, have a good job. Everything seems to be just great. The only problem in their life is you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we think. Yeah.
And that's what everyone else sees, isn't it? They see that they only see the person with the mask. They see that charismatic person that, like you said, is wonderful at their job and helps out in the community, and perhaps they donate to charities and all of these, wonderful things. And so how can there be anything wrong with them? So what hope have you got as a victim of trying to convince other people that this person is abusive? It's incredibly hard, because no one can see it except for you.
And then you've got smear campaigning where they're out telling everybody, convincing everyone you're horrible while you're at home, whatever, waiting for them, and then you start hearing this stuff. Well, so-and-so said you hit him. So-and-so you said you cheated on him. So-and-so said that you're always fighting with them and harping on them or leaving and never home. And, all these things. Well, it's my fault. I'm the bad person. Just more and more and more.
Yeah, let us know, guys, if you've been through any horrific smear campaigns. And the thing is that, and I know we've spoken about this before. We'll probably do another episode on a smear campaign, because it's just such a huge thing that victims go through. But you go with something that's so destructive, that has the capacity to destroy your life, your reputation, everything you've worked for. When you're already in a position where you're so vulnerable. The thing is that people see you reacting to the abuse. Like we said, I think a couple of live streams ago, you might be, crying and screaming, and you say, just stop, leave me alone. Stop abusing me, whatever you're doing to me. And other people see this. They see you, we call it reactive abuse. It's not really abuse. You're reacting to the abuse in a normal, non-disordered way. You're reacting to people abusing you. But a lot of the time, that's what, flying monkeys and other people see. They see you getting angry. They see these are all natural emotions, natural reactions to a smear campaign. But they see you, with that reacting to the abuse. And of course, the narcissist has already prompted them that, you're going to be seeing this. They're going to look crazy. This is what I've had to put up with. There's something wrong with this person. And there's the proof. Look at them going crazy. And all you are doing is reacting in a normal, emotive response to just gaslighting and just crazy, making ongoing abuse.
That's right. That's right. Trying to defend yourself against accusations. And if you have nobody there to tell you any different, or if the person that you love is the one saying this, it's really tough. It's really tough to combat that stuff in your head. You start really believing it. You will. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, just be just be mindful that don't defend yourself in the smear if a smear campaign is instigated against you. The narcissist will have preempted anything that you can say, and there's just no point in defending yourself. You will only go to prove them right. As I've said before, and as David said before, hold your head high and just go on with your life. That is the best way to combat a smear campaign. The people, these toxic, disordered, cluster B people, the other people that were seeing you react to their abuse, they're going to see the cluster B person going on and on and on, and maybe doing it to someone else, and then engaging in the same behavior with someone else and someone else. And, this is just what they do. It's their behavior. But then they're going to see you getting on with your life, not reacting to the indefensible, really, the attempt to destroy your life. And sooner or later, people are going to start putting two and two together because that person is just continuing on with their destructive behavior, and you're ignoring it and going on with your life. So this is the kind of things that you need to be aware of when the smear campaign hits. It's debilitating. It destroys lives and reputations. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. So you need to not hear it and go on with your life and just let them burn out, and they'll move on to someone else, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we don't accept bad behavior. We don't accept people saying bad things about people. And so we react so much to somebody saying bad things about us. And we just don't. The person that is accusing and pointing fingers, just always be weary of someone doing that. Most of the time, someone pointing fingers is hiding something else about them. It's the person that pointing the finger is the problem. So if you can realize that we don't accept that generally, that only sick, unhealthy people listen to those things and accept those things. So if you just have one person behaving badly and accusing and fighting with themselves while you never do anything back, it's perfect. You can rely on their obsessive qualities they have, because they won't stop. They'll just keep going and keep going and keep going while you're doing your own thing.
Yeah. Best way to combat the smear campaign, guys. Okay, we've got Karen Quast here from North Brisbane. Another North Brisbane girl like me. Hi, Karen. Who else have we got? We've got Becky Rybout here. Hi, Becky. I'm going to try and open your question up. Okay. Can they still be a narcissist without the moving on and parading a new love around? My ex meets all the criteria apart from the partner straight after we broke up. He's tried making contact, which meant breaching the DVO I have on him, but he hasn't moved on as such yet. It's been 7 weeks since I kicked him out. Do you want to take that one on, David? So this one hasn't actually gone, straight.
Well, if someone's diagnosed as with narcissistic personality disorder and then they meet the criteria, then that's just the way it is. They can, lots of things that narcissists do, manipulate, things like this. Just because they might not manipulate one day doesn't change all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty cut and dry. I mean,
yeah. And don't forget, Becky, just how sneaky and manipulative and maniacal the narcissist is. I mean, if you've got a restraining order against this person, I'm assuming, they're very abusive. Well, of course they're abusive, but there's a reason, that you got that restraining order. And, why are you 100% convinced, that he wasn't doing that anyway? That they're always after more narcissistic supply. They are extremely manipulative, extremely sneaky. So don't discount the fact that he was actually doing that. If he wasn't and you're 100% sure of it, that doesn't mean, as we know, narcissism runs on a spectrum, okay? So maybe, he's not full-blown, up here, full-blown NPD, but exhibit enough traits to be narcissistic and at the very least toxic, bad for you. Extremely toxic. They don't have to be right down the end of the spectrum to be bad for you. So, don't discount the fact that he was actually cheating. And if he wasn't, if you've got a restraining order, he was toxic. So don't feel the need to put a label on him. He's not good for you and he's abusive. Yeah. Hope that helps.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, it's the behavior that's unacceptable, not the title.
Yeah. But they don't have to fit into, every single trait that you find in the DSM. I think, what is it, David, about 5 or 6 traits? Don't quote me. I really can't remember. But, if they fit into enough of those traits to be toxic for you, enough of those narcissistic traits, then that should be enough evidence of you that you need to get out. Yeah.
Well, it's just like, a person, sometimes people cheat in a relationship or lie. Sometimes sometime in their life, they might manipulate. Single actions like this doesn't identify them or label them as a narcissist, just as if a narcissist does something kind or nice or helpful or benefit, it doesn't mean they're not.
No.
Yeah. And if you know someone's a narcissist, you're trying to figure out why they're doing something because it seems nice, whatever. Just know that anything they do is for them, period. I don't care if they do something nice for someone, they're expecting something in return, period.
Okay.
It's not unconditional. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always strings attached to it and it's insincere. It's only a nice act is there's always something in it for them. Okay, as David said, there's always strings attached. It's always conditional. So a narcissist can appear to go and do something nice, just as someone who's not narcissistic can be nasty every now and then. I think the real defining characteristics of someone who is narcissistic is the absolute defining characteristics are complete and utter lack of empathy and remorse. So if you do see those things, they are acting and it's insincere. Yeah. A narcissist just has no capacity to have empathy.
That's right. Because they're not all the same. They're not cookie cutters. They're not all narcissists are this major ego-driven character. They're also could be a very self-loathing, self-hating narcissist, So they're different. This is a personality disorder. People have different personalities.
Yeah. And they fit, in different sections along the spectrum. They have, as Dave said, and they're not cookie cutters, and they all have different personalities, different upbringings, and I guess different exposure, to to the abuse that happened to them when they were a child.
That's right. We've all had different experiences, and we are a product of our experiences.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Viv McLaughlin here. Hi, Viv. Big hugs for you, Lizzie Slater. You'll find your people now that you are free to recover and explore. Absolutely. Be good to you. I hope you find lots of love. That's all I could see. But, great words of advice there, Viv. Okay, we've got Nicole Eleanor here. She's replying to Holly Wildman. Haven't got to Holly's question yet, but she says, hi, Holly. Yes, we ask here and Nova will try and get to everyone's question. Oh, my goodness, the questions are just floating away. There's so many people here. Okay. Nicole Eleanor says, they always promise, but actually they damage us in a huge bad way. Yeah, Nicole, they are pathological liars, and their promises are all about future faking simply to secure you as a victim and to keep you in that vortex of abuse, so that they've got their clutches on you. Of course they promise you it. We want to believe them. We're as normal non-disordered people, you want to believe what they say, and why wouldn't you? as a not as a non-disordered person, you tend to take people at face value, and that's what you have to relearn when you leave the narcissist. Okay, we've got Aquamarine there. Hi, Aqua. Okay, Penny Evans is here. Hi, Penny. Now that I am out of cognitive dissonance, I can never believe that I enabled this abuse for 15 years. Never again. 15 years, David. Gosh.
Wow. Yeah. That takes a little time to fix and change everything. Yeah.
Big chunk out of your life, Penny, but you can't, you have to move on now. You have to heal, and you're in there, you're in I guess, a group of supportive people now, and you have to continue with that support and continue with your self-care. And there is life after narcissistic abuse, and I promise you, you will get through this. But you have to believe in yourself. We've got Alicia Asplin here. Hi, Alicia. We did it also because we can't always articulate the abuse or understand it for what it is, and there is not enough understanding or validation from others. Don't we know it, David?
That's right. And, you know, I was going to bring this up. If you've ever known a drug addict or alcoholic, someone with a bad addiction, that addiction, no matter what, is number one. It comes before anything. This relationship can be an addiction to some people. It does the same thing to our brains. Addictions, we actually are addicted to the effect that these drugs do to our brain. It raises hormones up high, makes us feel really good. When the drugs go away, those things fall. And as it ups and down, up and down, up and down, our brains become addicted to this. Just like the fighting and the cheating and the push-pull game. When they leave you and come back and fight and say it's all your fault and then now it's all better. We get addicted to this. Our brains can get very addicted to that. It actually looks just like a drug addict if you look at it under a microscope. So, you can become addicted to this. Yeah. So absolutely. That it becomes the most important thing. You know, you have somebody tell you, and a lot of us may have had somebody say, hey, I want you to know that this relationship is bad. You know, you don't look so good. I've noticed a decline in you and how you're looking and how you're feeling. And I'm worried about you. I'm concerned about you. Oh, no, I'm okay. Everything's okay. No, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them now. You know, so we protect that. We protect that feeling. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's just so important having validation as well, Alicia, validation for your experience. Because, as you just said, there's not enough people know about this, and to be able to have someone go, me too, and I understand what you're going through. It's just so incredibly important to, because you've been gaslighted, you've been told that you're a crazy drama queen and that, you know, that you don't know what you're talking about. You've been conditioned to not trust your gut instinct. So to be able to, you know, have your experiences validated, I think is one of the number one absolutely imperative things that needs to happen when you come out of, a relationship with a narcissist. And hopefully you're getting some of that tonight.
Yeah, I think anytime you're going through hard times alone, it creates so much doubt. You need support. You need people there telling you you're okay. Just like when we were children, we needed our parents to tell us that, you know, tell us we're okay all the time. Without it, we doubt. We doubt ourselves. We doubt our decision making and things like this, how we feel.
Yeah. Bronwyn Tobin's here. She says, I was 30 years with a narc. There is life, freedom, and happiness. Oh, thank you for those good words of inspiration there, Bronwyn. There is absolutely. Don't let the narc take any more of your life. Once you leave them and you engage in that healing process, it might be 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but it's the journey forward that counts, and it's 1 step in front of the other, and it doesn't matter how slow that journey is as long as you start. Yeah.
That's right. It's never too late to be happy, guys. Never.
Yeah. Don't let them take any more from you. They've taken enough. Okay, Penny Evans says, worst thing is that he took all my possessions and children. 5 years on, I am still healing and praying. My children are so damaged. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Penny. Yeah, look, what can I say? That's so incredibly sad, and these are the horrific things that sometimes happen when you've been in a relationship with a narcissist. You know, they take things off you, but yeah, you can only, I guess, get together with other people that have been through what you have been through, that can, you know, that know how bad this is. And this wasn't your fault. You had no control over this. You were with a master manipulator, and this was not your fault. But it is going to be your responsibility to heal from this trauma. Yeah, and I'm just so sorry that you had to go through that, Penny.
Yeah, it's so sad. Children have to pay for some of the consequences from bad relationships. It's too bad.
Yeah.
They'll be okay.
Yeah. And hopefully when they get older, Penny, they will see what's happened and how they've been manipulated. I guess just always leave the door open for them so that they know that they've got a mum who loves them and who was thinking about them the whole time. And it wasn't your fault. That's the number one thing you have to remember. Okay, we've got Maxine Green here. Hi, Maxine. Mary Christophoru is here. Hi, Marie. Okay, who else have we got? Marie says they never want the truth to come out. Of course not, Marie. The truth is, you know, if the truth came out, that would be you've exposed them. You know, you've revealed that true self, and that's just not on for the narcissist, because that's why they have that false mask, because they can't, you know, they don't have the ability to self-reflect, and that true self is not to be exposed for anything. It's really is a life or death situation for them.
Yeah, they won't look at themselves because they don't like what they see. They can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely shame-ridden. Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to find. Oh, we've got Jules Schultz here. Hi, Jules. Jules is from North Brisbane too. And Aquamarine says, what about when they turn around and make you like the narcissist and they sit there and watch you go off? Yeah, it's kind of like what we were just talking about, isn't it, David? The reactive abuse, watching you go off. It's like they've planted the bomb. They go, here's the bomb, and they walk away and then watch you react.
That's right. And when you realize that all that matters is how they feel, not you, you'll get this. So if they're in a good mood, you better be in a good mood too. They don't want to hear it. I don't care if you had a bad day, if you broke your finger, or, somebody died in your family. I'm in a good mood. Don't bring me down. There you go. How many people have heard that? Don't bring me down. Why are you always bringing me down? You're always bringing this stuff up. I'm in a good mood. But what happens if they're in a bad mood? You can't be in a good mood. So they will get you in that bad mood. And guess what happens when they get you all riled up? Now they finally feel better. Yeah. Okay. And then look at you. What's wrong with you? Yeah, you lost it.
Yeah. That's you reacting. That's reactive abuse. You are reacting to the abuse. And that's what they do, isn't it? They have these churned up feelings on the inside. They feel shame. They just feel horrible about themselves. So they need to make the environment match how they feel. So they project that onto you, and they make you in a bad mood. They make you react. They make you go crazy. So you defend yourself, And as you said, then they sit there and go, yep. Now I've got some drama going on. I've got them jumping up and down. You know what? I might get the video camera out and record you acting crazy. All these types of things. And it's just, yeah.
They'll shift that right on to you. They'll add badness, bad juju right to you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We've got David Jenner here. Hi, David. It's reverse cycle of humankind. Are you talking about the narcissist, I'm assuming? Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at them, the reverse cycle of humankind. That's what David's just said. I'm assuming you're meaning that they're completely opposite. to what normal human beings should be like, who have, you know, a full range of emotions and who have empathy and remorse and who, you know, have feelings and treat people with the way that they want to be treated. Yeah.
They're emotionally primitive. They don't have
Yeah.
capabilities like we do. They can't have functioning relationships with people.
Very good way I've never heard that. That's a really, really good way of describing them. They're very primal, aren't they? It's about getting their needs met. It's about their ego. I want this, I want that. Just like a toddler. I want it now. And if you don't give it to me, I will take it from you. You know, that real, you know, just having to have their ego satiated right there and then, just like a little baby having its you know, basic needs met.
Yeah, yeah, they're underdeveloped emotionally, so they're children. They really are.
Yep,
That's why
absolutely.
they act like children. That's why they have temper tantrums. That's all
Yeah,
rage is, an adult temper tantrum.
yeah, yeah. You don't want to be my friend anymore. You don't want to play in the same pit with me. So, you know, I'm gonna punish you. Yeah, and it's just like a child at kindergarten. That's what they do. They rage because, you know, you don't want to play with them, or you don't want to engage with them anymore.
Yeah, so they, instead of falling on the floor and kicking around in circles, they might hit something, break something, hit you, yell, scream. Yeah.
Yeah, or, you know, like that child's game that, you know, that I remember playing it when I was, or saying it when I was a kid, when they go, you know, I know you are, you said you are, but what am I? You know, I know you are, you said you are, but what am I? That's the narcissist mentality, isn't it? It's like, you know, you sit there trying to defend yourself and say, you know, reacting to their abuse, and they're just taking it and shining it back on you and going, you know, but that's you know, and the more you defend yourself, it's like getting in quicksand. You just sink lower and lower and lower, trying to, you know, scrabble your way out of it. It's just impossible.
With children, we know better than to sink down to their level and play their games with them. We stop it. But when they're
Yeah.
adults, it's a lot easier to fall into that game with them.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Suzanne Jane. Hi, Suzanne. Suzanne says, I feel guilty not holding him to account and allowing him to move on to someone else. Okay, I feel guilty for not holding him to account. Okay. You didn't, Suzanne, what I'm hearing there is you taking it on board that it was somehow your fault for allowing him to move on to someone else. A narcissist is going to do it anyway, okay? And it was foreplanned, and I don't mean this to hurt you, but this is what they do. This is their modus operandi. They move on to someone else, and then they blame you. They say, I did this because it's your fault. Not holding him to account. Do you mean, you know, telling him he's a narcissist, telling him that he's, you know, done the wrong thing and that he's abusive and what a terrible person he is for cheating on you? It's a really good thing that you didn't hold him to account, because that's what he would have wanted. That's what they want. They want you to go in there and say, you know, oh, you're a horrible person. They want you to jump up and down and defend yourself and call you all sorts of names. And all they will do is flip that back on you and say, well, it's your fault that I did it. So you can never get any accountability out of the narcissist. So trying to hold him to account is futile. It will never work, and it will only backfire on you. So I'm really glad that you didn't hold him to account. So hold your head high, and he's someone else's problem now. Yeah. But I'm really sorry that you've had to go through that. Okay.
Yeah, you aren't going to force responsibility or accountability on them. Never.
Yeah. It wasn't because of you that he did it. Oh, camera shaking. Trying to find some more questions. What else have we got here? We've got Nikki Taylor here. Hi, Nikki. Nikki says, modelling this behaviour to their children is heartbreaking. Yeah, we hear that all the time, don't we, David? I think we did this a couple of weeks ago. You know, the child protection episode, and you know that these kids have to go and have contact with their narcissistic parent, and the other parent just feels absolutely powerless to do anything about it.
Yeah, this cycle continues, just like everything else, like cycles we're used to with drug addiction and alcohol and abuse recycles itself. Most children that are abused tend to be abused in adult life or abuse people. So this cycle repeats itself over and over again. It's really sad.
Yeah, but you know what you need to do, Nikki, is just remember you're the only appropriate parent that your children have. Okay, so you need to role model the most appropriate behaviours, and just I guess once you come to terms with the fact you can't change what goes on in that house, then you can make their life with you as good as you possibly can. But always just remember they don't need a perfect mum. They need a happy one. Okay, so you hearing all the stuff that comes back from that other toxic parent about how you're a bad mother and you should be, you know, doing more for them and you shouldn't be seeing that person or relative or whatever, that is only going to bring you down and make you unhappy. So you have to look at strategies to be, you know, to be that most appropriate parent, because that's you. If the other parent is a narcissist, that's on you. Yeah.
Yeah, good points. Yeah, really good.
We've got Holly Wildman there. Hi, Holly. Holly says, I was in a relationship with my ex-partner for 8.5 years. 3 of those he was in jail. He was out of jail for 15 months and he was a monster. 3 months ago, just trying to open that. 3 months ago, he shot at me, my goodness, in my car, and 2 centimetres saved my life from the bullet going in my head. Oh, my goodness. He is now in jail. After everything I went through, I'm really struggling to understand why this happened to me. He told me I deserved everything he did to me and that I was a horrible person and no one would want me. I feel like I just want an answer to why he did it, and I'm left feeling confused and feeling like I did deserve it. Is this normal? What's the best way I should be dealing with this trauma? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Is it normal for you to feel like this way, Holly? Yeah. Yeah, of course. It sounds like this person's a psychopath, okay? You have been traumatized by someone who has so little regard for your life, they tried to put a bullet in your head. Okay, what does this do to a person's psyche? It says, you know, I'm not a good person. I'm worthless. You know, this is what the way he thought about me, and you know, I'm assuming along with that physical abuse would have been ongoing, traumatic, psychological, and emotional abuse. So, is it normal for you to feel like you somehow deserved this, and you know, have those feelings of worthlessness? Yes. Did you deserve it? Absolutely, 100% not. Dealing with the trauma, you need to talk about it, Holly, and we need to reprogram that brain of yours, because it has been conditioned. You've been conditioned to think that the way he wants you to think, that you're not a good person, and we need to turn that all around, because it's so not true. This was not your fault, and none of what that person said to you was right. Okay, so I really hope that you've got access to counselling and to support groups, and that you're engaging in self-care, because this was not your fault, but you will heal from this, I promise you, but you have to work at that. Is there anything else you wanted to say to that, David? What a horrific story.
Yeah, that is. I'm glad you're okay. The most important thing is what Nova said is get help, get therapy. Don't do this by yourself. You want to know what to do, always get a professional to help you with this. Just support, listening to you, telling you it's okay, you're okay. You want to know why he did this? This sounds like traits of someone who may have antisocial personality disorder, and people that do have a real disdain for people. Um, the way they're brought up is a real hate for people, and you probably know this. His general feeling towards the rest of the world and other people, he hates them. He's better than them. Things like this, and also he was taught to be a bad person. I guarantee you, you probably know who is in his life, his mom, his father, someone that raised him. It taught him to be very bad. It's okay to be bad. He's thinking I'm bad, but it's okay because everybody else is bad too. And
Yeah.
he hates everybody. Yeah, that's why. And it's not you, it's him. And I
And
bet that's hard to process.
yeah. And violence, Holly, it always boils down to two things. Well, lots of things, but the two main factors that violence stems from is issues of power and control. Okay, he felt like that you somehow deserved it. You just that's how they feel. They have all the power, and if you try and put up a boundary, even if they perceive that you're trying to put up a boundary, that then you're taking their power away from them, and that's they need to control you at all costs.
That's right. Good point. Yeah, if they can't, whenever they can't control you anymore, you see them do crazy stuff. They'll do something drastic to you, or they'll control the people around you. Things like this. Yeah, so he obviously lost control of the situation. He didn't get what he wanted. I mean,
Yeah,
really, it comes down to that. It's pretty sick. Yeah.
yeah. I'm so sorry, Holly, but look, please stay with the group. Oh yeah, before I go on, guys, I need to say it doesn't look like Mal's here tonight, but as I always say every week, you guys need all the support you can get. Please join the Australian Narcissistic Support and Recovery Group. That's the acronym is TANSR, TANSR. Mal is the director of that. They have a private group and a public group. And there will be lots and lots of extra support there for you where you can talk to other victims and survivors. So look that up, TANSR. Just thought I'd better say that while I remembered it. Okay. Okay, what else have we got? We've got Shani B here. Hi, Shani. Shani says, they are children. I literally watched my narc fight over a toy with my 3-year-old. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, Shani. As if it was a hit to his ego that she had more right to it than him. Oh, goodness. What was it, like a Thomas the Tank Engine or something? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all, David, fighting over, a toy with a 3-year-old. They're kind of at the same emotional level, aren't they?
Yeah, how many times you've been driving in the car and you have to tell all the kids to be quiet, right? Including
Yeah,
a big kid next to you. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That
Goodness.
that's hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah. We got Jill Sonnet here. Hi, Jill. She says that she thinks they're an insult to children. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people agree with you, Jill.
Well,
Maxine's
you,
here.
you you can show this kind of bad behavior. Smear campaigns are the best. Show someone smear campaigning someone to a child, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's ugly. That's bad. We don't do that." So yeah, you're right. To call them children is yeah, that's damaging to children. That's not fair to children. Yeah.
Mm. And, like the narcissist, like children don't know when to stop. Children will just go on and on and on, and they, if they get a laugh out of it, they get a bit of attention out of it, and you feed them with attention, then they will just keep going. They just don't know when to stop. You have to kind of say, hey, that's enough, calm down.
Yeah.
With a narcissist, it's the same. It's the same, I guess, reactionary behavior. You have to pull them back and go, hey, enough. Just let it go.
Right. Right.
Okay, Alicia says, my son realised shortly after the separation that he was manipulated by his father, and now he's very, very angry about it. At the same time, I have concerns. He's developing. Oh, please open up. Question. At the same. Oh gosh, I just lost your question there. Got it back. It's all good. I have concerns he's developing some learned behaviours, yeah, and I'm wondering, is it possible for him to learn to become a narcissist? Did you want to respond to that one, David?
Yeah, did she say how old by chance the child is?
My son, no.
You know, we catch children, doctors catch children with, ADD and stuff like this, and they, misconduct or conduct disorder, bad behavior from children. And this stuff can be stopped, and it needs to be stopped. It needs to be addressed. He's angry. That needs to be addressed. He needs to be able to express his anger and not hide it. You tell a child to not show anger and just bury it inside, they act out, and it becomes ugly, and it gets out of control. So he needs to deal with things, and he needs help and stuff like this, and be taught that it's okay to express emotions such as anger in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Perhaps get him into some counselling, because it's kind of a natural response, isn't it, for kids to role model, what they see, the behaviour that their parent is engaging in, isn't it, David? That's what's so important, that you guys are that one appropriate parent, because goodness knows they need you. So counselling, and like David said, talking to them about appropriate behaviour and saying, hey, that type of behaviour is not acceptable in this house, and this is what I expect, and putting those boundaries and rules in place.
Right.
Jules, hi Jules. Jules says, I have to say I don't regret meeting my narc. I regret letting him make me feel crazy. He broke me down to my lowest, but I have to thank the experience as it has made me stronger and know what I do, what in life, and who I want to be. I have life goals now and made my family closer. Oh, wow. They are awesome words there, and inspirational words, Jules. Look, it's hard to think that, that as a victim, you'd kind of go, oh yeah, I'm really happy that, this happened to me, and I went through that, and I went through all that abuse. But I guess when in hindsight, when you look back on it, David, you can go, well, you know what? I wouldn't be who I am today if that hadn't have happened to me. And as horrific as it was, I'm now a stronger person, and it's not the life I thought I'd have. It's a different life, but damn straight, I'm stronger now, and I will never be that victim again. You're a thriver now.
That's right. Beautiful attitude. And I mean, really, what do you learn if you're happy your whole life and life is super easy? You learn nothing, So experiences is what we are, and the bigger, the better. The more we learn, the more we know who we are, the better person we become. Hopefully. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because experiences are great, but it really does come down to how we, how do we react to this? What do we do with that experience? What do we learn from it? Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
It reminds me of, I think it was a meme I was looking at on Facebook this morning. I thought, wow, I really like that. I'm always after inspirational memes. And the meme said, you never, ever learn as much in life as you do when you hit rock bottom. I thought, wow, that's so true. It said you learn more at rock bottom than you do when you reach the mountaintop. So what they were saying is, that when you hit the pits of despair, and you thought you could never get any lower, and you find your way out of there, and you learn so much. You actually learn more than when you reach that summit. And I thought, wow, that's really inspirational, and it's quite true.
Yeah, you don't buy knowledge. You don't just give knowledge away. You need experience to know. Yeah.
Great
Good attitude.
Yeah, great attitude there, Jules. Marie Christopher says, excuse me, how do we protect our children when in the courts they have the right to see their kids even though they don't care or love them and don't contribute financially raising them? Oh my goodness. Marie, if you go back and watch the last live stream that David and I did, not last week's, but the week before, we did one on child protection. And I think you'll get a lot of tips there. But how do you protect them when the courts are just not there for you and the judicial system is just so non-recognizing of personality disorders? It's really hard to protect them from covert psychological abuse. But like we were talking about earlier, you can be the best parent you can be. You can't control the gaslighting and all the things that toxic parent does in their home. And if you sit there continually worrying about that, then you're not going to be that happy mum, which is what the kids need. Does it suck that he's gaslighting the kids and filling their heads with rubbish? Absolutely. It's not fair. It is not fair. But this is one of the things that happens when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, and we have to learn how to, to parent or parallel parent while that person does that stuff. And we hope that the kids will recognize the positive behaviors that you role model against, those awful negative behaviors that they're role modeling in that house. So just be the best parent you can be. And you know what? It's hopefully the kids, when they get older, they will see this.
Yeah, if I can add something, that's good. Resiliency. A lot of us, we'll look and examine our childhood and we'll say, well, I didn't have a good childhood. How come the disordered person had a bad childhood? They were disordered, I'm not. And a lot of that is resiliency. A lot of it is having someone there in your life, loves you, cares about you while you're being abused and traumatized. A lot of disordered people didn't have that. They had the single parent that abused them, but also realize that even if you have a non-disordered, non-abusive parent as well in the same family household, that person's being abused. They're not happy. They're not healthy. They can't be the best parent for you. So the fact that you guys are apart, that's great. You keep becoming, the beautiful person you're meant to be, and you become happy and healthy, and you will be a rock solid foundation for your children, and they will become resilient, and they will see the truth. Yeah,
that is
eventually.
Such a great point, David. If, like you said, if they were together, and you don't mean to be, but you become like an enabler, because you're so ground down from the psychological abuse and maybe physical abuse too, that you kind of become an enabler by default, because you become emotionally unavailable to be there for those children, to protect them, to be the resilient, protective parent, because you just can't in that toxic environment. So when you get away, at least they have, like David said, one rock solid parent, and that's you.
That's right. So you just work on yourself and become happy and healthy. You can become the best mother by being the best person, by being inside. Yeah, you'll be all right. They'll be okay. They should be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Nikki Taylor's here, and Nikki says, I too am grateful for what it has taught me. I hope my children see me as a strong and courageous mama. I'm sure they do, Nikki. The ex doesn't like this change in me. Of course not. And is stuck in the victim mentality. I could have stayed there, but what would it have helped me? Helped us? Hell no. Do you want to respond to that, David?
Yeah, that's a good point. You guys always, think about revenge, or they got away with this or whatever. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Both of you were way down here, right? Because that place, you remember how dark and deep and bad that place is with them. Well, you've left. You've left them there. I don't care the picture they paint, the smile they put on their Facebook, telling everybody I met the person of my dreams. I'm so happy now. No, they're there, and they stay there. They stay right there. You left, and you left them there to go be happy and healthy. And I'm telling you, they see that. They know that. That's gotta kill. That's gotta kill them.
And the best revenge you guys will ever get is for the narc, isn't it, David? To see you being happy and moving on with your life, not responding to smear campaigns, going and getting a passion, being a great mum. That is the best revenge they will ever get, isn't it? It's just.
It sure is. And you'll know it's working when they're calling you names and talking bad about you to everybody. It's
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. The worse that, the greater they try to bring you down and make you appear to be a horrible person, and tell everyone you're a horrible person, you're a horrible mother, and you're this and you're that. You know that you're not reacting to them is getting to them, because they keep having to up the ante and because you're not responding to them. It drives them nuts. It's the best revenge.
Yeah. Yeah. It just makes them, really sit there and have to look at themselves, which they just can't do. But yeah, it forces that. Not good. I wouldn't want to look at myself if I was like that.
No.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Hell no. Amy Reed. Hi, Amy. Amy says, my thoughts exactly infuriates me to my wits' end and trying to prove the effect they have on their poor children. She's responding to Megan. Yeah. If you can, Amy, go back, like I said before, go back and have a look at David and I's last live stream a couple of weeks ago when we talked about the children, how to work around, managing, when they have to go and live with the toxic parent. But yeah, it's absolutely infuriating. But if the kids see you being infuriated, that means that person is still inside your head. They're still affecting you. And if it's affecting you, it's affecting the kids. And I don't mean to say that you do this intentionally. I know it's infuriating. They want you to be enraged. That's why they do it. So the best thing you can do, Amy, for yourself, is to not hear it. If the kids come home and they say, oh, Daddy said this about you and Daddy said that, tell them that, Mummy doesn't want to hear that stuff anymore, and don't let yourself hear it, because it's only going to wind you up, which is what they want. And then you're not going to be that happy mum that the kids need in you. Remember, you are it. You are the only rock solid parent they have. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You be strong, let him be weak.
Exactly. Okay, we've got Tash Nikinsey here. Hi, Tash. Tash says, so hard to believe that their true colours will eventually be recognised. Talking about karma, Tash. Yeah, it's we all want karma to come along. That old karma bus, don't we, David?
That's right. But here again, remember how bad it was with them. That's not you. That's where they're at. It's where you're leaving them. We give the titles personality disorders to people because their life is unmanageable. They can't have relationships with people. You don't need revenge to somebody that has a personality disorder. Their life is horrible. You know that. You got a glimpse into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will happen. Karma comes in the end, Tash, when they get old and they had burnt everyone. They have lied to so many people. There's no one left. And that's when they start to rely on their adult children through guilt and obligation, because there's no one left. They can't attract anyone, through their looks, and they've just burnt too many people that they're left alone, miserable, bitter, old people. That's their karma. That's their karma.
That's
and
right.
You'll be happy.
That's right. And whether they don't have you guys anymore. Nice, loving, accepting, caring, nurturing people. They don't have you in their lives anymore. And I don't care if they threw you away or discarded you. That's the problem with a personality disorder. It's not that they all just can't keep people. A lot of these people have such abandonment issues. They abandon relationships before you do. They cannot keep relationships. That's if they didn't care, they wouldn't be looking. They wouldn't be involved. They wouldn't live with people and be married to people. They need it. They need you. They just can't keep you. They don't know how. They're miserable. And
Absolutely.
you look at how bad it makes you feel. They're no different. But it hurt both of you. That's just how they deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we've got Patty there. Hi, Patty. Patty Colombo says, if I can open it up, when my ex-narc was a kid, his family would say, hide your wallets, Mark is here. Obviously, he stole money from them. I partly hold responsibility to the fool, I think. They knew who he is and did nothing. He had no parenting with a bipolar mum and an alcoholic dad. Yeah, so it sounds like he had a terrible childhood, but so do many people, Patty, and that's having a terrible childhood is sad, but it's no excuse for abusing someone else. No excuse, certainly not for abusing you. Yeah. And too often we hear this, and it actually becomes a reason, doesn't it, David, that victims will minimize and rationalize and justify and defend the abuse because they go, oh, well, he had a bad upbringing. Maybe I can help him. Maybe I can fix him. Maybe I can be that person that he's never had in his life or her life. But yeah, it's not an excuse to abuse someone else. In fact, it should be an excuse for the opposite. If you know pain because someone's done it to you, you should never want to do it to someone else.
Exactly. And it's our responsibility to heal from things in our childhood, really, and not to go on through adulthood and just excuse things we do to our childhood. It's like, do something about it. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we might just answer one more and then start to wrap it up for the evening. We've got Marie Rose there. Hi, Marie. Alicia said he's 14. You asked how old her son was before, David. Alicia's just said he's 14.
Stay involved in his life, counseling, therapy, please. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Rach Murray there. Hi, Rach. Who else haven't I said hello to? I hate missing people. Okay, we'll find one more and then we'll start to wrap it up, guys. Okay, we've got David Bridger there. Hi, David. We've got Jess O'Leary there. Hi, Jess. Okay, one more question. We've got Dominique Rivero there. Their reasons must not become their excuses. Yeah, what a great way of putting it, Dominique. I totally agree with that. Absolutely. Okay. We'll finish off with Kathy. Lucky last, Kathy. Hi. Kathy Green says, my narc and my narc stepdaughter had turned 3 of my children against me by filling their heads with lies about me. 2 of them are now young adults and have their own lives. Another is 17 and lives with both narcs. I'm so worried about my 17-year-old as she now has bikinis from all the toxicity. I'm thinking maybe that's a typo there, bikinis from all the toxicity. I'm assuming she's having problems from all the toxicity. What can I do to rebound with my kids and break through the lies? David, did you want to tackle that one?
It's tough. It's tough. I can give some advice, and always, if you can get them into some kind of help, because they need it. They need it. And it might be hard. It might be impossible, but try. There's lots of things we can do, and it's always about working on you. It really is. Become stronger, become happier, become a better person, become a better mother. Don't overcompensate. Don't for a bad father. You don't need to be a father too. A lot of kids don't have fathers, turn out okay. Don't talk bad about the other parent. Let them figure it out on their own. Always be a good, nice, happy, strong, solid parent. Don't overcompensate by being too nice and not letting them know there's repercussions to their actions, that they still need to learn boundaries, that they can't mistreat you, so they respect you. That's all you can do. At a certain point, you have to realize, what you can control and what you can't, what the difference is.
That's
And I'm awfully sorry. My heart goes out to you. It's just awful.
That's it. It's all about, like you said, you've got to look at the variables that you've got at your disposal. What can I control? What can't I control? There's stuff that you have no control over, like the gaslighting going on in that home with your children, there is no point in worrying about it. And I know that's hard to kind of reconcile your thoughts around, but if you can't control it, your stress and the guilt and all of these awful feelings are preventing you from being happy, which could be helping your children. And I know it's they seem like really hollow words, but once you can kind of come to grasp with the fact that you can't do anything about it, I'm not going to stress about what I can't change, and I'm going to concentrate on what I can change. Then your life can take a shift.
Yeah, if your kids are choosing to be with dad, what are you going to do about it? If the courts are forcing children to be with the dad, there's nothing you can do about it. The whole thing is sad. It's sad. But you can be good, be a more desirable mother to want to be around,
Yeah. Okay, guys, we've got Suzette Edmund there. Hi, Suzette. Thanks for joining us. We might wrap it up there, guys. I want to say thank you so much for joining myself and David here tonight. It's been amazing. David and I love answering all your questions. Please keep joining in. The group keeps getting bigger and bigger, which is amazing. People all over the world are joining in. And please tell other people about it. It's prolific. Narcissistic abuse is everywhere. They walk amongst us, and so many people are getting abused and hurt and do not have any support. So please spread the word, get other people to join in, and please share. The more shares we get, the more awareness we spread. David, I just want to say, as always, you are just a breath of fresh air, and you bring so much to these live streams. I know everyone here loves having you. So thank you once again for staying up till 1 a.m. in the morning to co-host the show.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's great. I enjoy it very much, and thank you everybody for letting me come on here and participate on this. This is great. Thank you. Thank you, Nova. And please, people, my subscribers, can you please follow the link down below and support Nova? Go over to YouTube channel, Facebook channel, and just subscribe and support her. Anybody doing work like this, we need to help and support. Okay? Thank you.
And ditto for me, guys. Please, everyone who follows Brighter Outlook, please jump on David's YouTube channel. Just so many videos filled with wonderful information about not just narcissism, other cluster B personality disorders, and just everything. I couldn't even begin to talk about everything that David talks about, but it's called Damar's Coaching. So have a look out for that, subscribe, and do yourself a favor. David, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, you will. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. Enjoy the holidays so far, but I'll see you again before then.
Okay. See you, David.
Bye, Nova.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So just said goodbye to David. David joins us for these live streams, everyone. Live, as I said before, live from Las Vegas every second week. But I'm here every week, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Brisbane time. So I hope you all remembered to set
around the States and Australia, and of course, if you're outside of Australia. It's been amazing, as always, being able to help you guys tonight. I really do apologise for not getting to everyone. I always feel bad, but keep coming back. Come back next week and talk to each other. Please support each other. That's another beautiful thing about these forums. Once again, if you would like to have a private counselling session with me, whether that's face-to-face here in Brisbane at Brighter Outlook, I would love to be able to support you, or via Skype. I Skype people, I counsel people via Skype all over the world. So it's just a matter of working out the time difference, which I do all the time. So if you'd like to have a Skype session or a face-to-face here in Brisbane, just inbox me here at Brighter Outlook, and I will get back to you ASAP. Okay, thank you as always, everyone. You've been amazing. Please support each other, and I look forward to seeing you all here again next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Brisbane time. On that note, goodbye. Remember your worth, and then add tax. Bye, everyone.